Oh, hey, son. I'm your upper middle class dad. Here I come in a 1995 family Volvo. Could we afford a Ford Taurus wagon? Yes, we could, but will we? No. We could go every Sunday, but being creasters is good enough for us. We bought a family Volvo because we want European sportiness without the excitement. I'm your dad, and I made you believe that babies are made by kissing.
The giveaway for this awesome LS1-powered Camaro Z28 ends this Wednesday. Click on the link in the description, whynotyogear.com, buy a mug, digital download, and get entered to win this catfish Camaro. Once again, click on the link in the description, whynotyogear.com, mug, digital download. Someone's walking away. Someone's driving away with this car this Wednesday.
And guess what? God is just a tool like every other leverageable commodity. Now sit down, son, and I'll brag with my value line binder about how much we, as parents, suffered for you. Oh yeah, I'll take you to drumline practice, but I'm gonna drive slowly so I can finish my story. You'll be 2 minutes late. Guess what, son? My story is about time management. And I will extend every sentence with the ending, do you know what I'm saying? And if you ask if I'm asking a rhetorical question, I'll stay angry for a week. Now you may go to your drum and bugle practice. Yes, I will call your extracurricular activities by different names every time. You'll never know if I'm messing with you or just checked out. At any rate, now that you're at Fiddler on the Roof practice, I'm gonna indulge in my favorite activity. Driving in silence. Oh, I got a new one for you when you get back. I'm gonna start calling the radio the intercom, and you can ruminate on that for a while.
Volvo 940. It's like somebody put wheels on a glass of milk and a 7:30 bedtime. The Volvo 700 series was officially made to replace the 240, but the problem was that people were still buying the 240. It was still posting numbers. It was too popular to discontinue. So the 240 stuck around and outsold its successor. Volvo began looking ahead to the 900 series with the idea to upscale the 700, and this is how we got the Volvo 940. It's a luxury 700, but with an engine designed in the early 70s that mostly didn't change for nearly 30 years. The car used the same B21 slant 6.4 that was introduced as part of the 200 series. You could swap heads and long blocks, and it would still work, because that's how Volvo kept costs down. And that's what we got with the Volvo 940. A car born into a world that didn't have any need for it, because it descended from a car that was equally unnecessary. Of course, being unnecessary isn't necessarily a bad thing. Rocky III wasn't necessary, but it gave us Clubber Lang. I'm surprised no adult film star ever used the name Chubber Wang. It was right there. Anyway, Volvo 940. It was sort of a luxury, but also not really at all. The turbo option didn't give you power mirror or heated seat options along with it. It's like an expensive poverty spec. It has a turning diameter of 33.2 feet, and it gets between 22 and 25 miles per gallon. These lasted from 1990 until 1998, like the prime years of bare-naked ladies. But the Volvo 940 never did anything as good as stunt. If a young person drives a Volvo 940, it's because it came secondhand from someone way older. Because it follows from the old saying that you can sell a young man's car to an old man, but you can't sell an old man's car to a young man. All you get when you see a Volvo 940 is the fear that a guy named Jason is going to whip out his guitar and start singing Hey There Delilah at the barbecue. Volvo 940. For the man whose phases are as follows, and in this order: Dungeons and Dragons, emo, David Lynch movies, IPA, stocks, edge play, latex inflatable suits, Chippendale Rescue Rangers cosplay, One back tattoo that takes 2 years to complete. Trains. Bird watching. Early bird dinner specials. Bible study groups. Dementia. Breathing. Burial. The estimated retail price at the time was about $26,000, which comes out to just over $50,000 in 2023. $50,000 for a car that makes less than 200 horsepower. This particular Volvo is at 254,000 miles into its life. One would think that the constant track rear suspension is why it doesn't feel as old as it is, since the CTR suspension isolates and dissipates road shock. But to say the car is impressive would be a lie worthy of a college relationship. It's a perfectly acceptable car, and you could even see why younger drivers would want one, because you're getting something reliable at a time in life when stability is important. Maybe we just have different mindsets as we grow older. But there's something unnecessarily restrictive about a Volvo 940, despite being a turbo. It's almost condescending, as if it doesn't believe you need much power or that you can handle it. The Volvo 940 is for an elementary school teacher who doesn't know how to turn off the learning voice. Okay, James, tonight, for dinner, we'll be having meatloaf. Is that all right? It's already in the oven. If you finish it all, there's a fun-sized Snickers for you. You like that, right? It'll be just like trick-or-treating with the pores.
ABS plastics in this thing are notorious. Like, I had to actually replace these door cards, or at least this one, because people kick out and smash this.
Oh,
so,
with their legs, they push the door open and kick it with their legs?
If the door like swings closed on you, or like you go to kick the door open, that's right where your foot.
Now I need a giveaway going up the hill, and I noticed that when you went up this hill in the Forerunner, or I went up in the Forerunner chasing you, that I needed full throttle to follow you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, and it hangs, it does not, oh, I didn't have my, there was like a second level.
So that is a manual lever. When you go full throttle and you go further, it literally pulls a little bit. Oh, that's your windshield trim. Sorry, I can get out and pop that. It's on the outside.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there's literally a little lever that's connected to the automatic trans kickdown cable, it's called.
Okay.
And it will force it to downshift. If you push it all the way to the floor, and then there's that little, like,
okay, yeah.
You feel, yeah.
Okay, Turbo, I need you, and I need you now.
For it.
All right. All right. Not slow. It's like you do have to seem to ask everything. Like, it's like, are you sure you're supposed to be driving safe?
Mm-hmm.
This is not a Polestar. Well, we're about to find out that one-way LSD from here. Yep, it worked.
There you go.
Yep.
If I take enough twist ties from the produce section, I'll have enough to keep the blood in my dick. Unbreak my heart! Come on a pop-top
Pillsbury toaster strudel. I see them now in 2023. The endings of Volvo owners. The endings of their lives. Drifting from Bible study groups to coffee shops. Hobbling. Decrying the state of the world, whatever it is. If only they were in charge. Their baseball hats no longer fit correctly. Their emotions muted. Their eyes unfocused and cloudy. Their food arrives and no one at the table remembered what they ordered. Like endless loop tape cassettes, they repeat headlines, the pastor, the town newsletter. They're human aggregators. Who died? Who just gave birth? The price of heating oil. The price of coal. The price of a state inspection. The price of a house inspection. Prices, prices, prices. The prices swirl around their eggs, grits, Reuben sandwiches, French onion soup, coffee with cream and sugar. Jeremiah, your hat is falling off. Your hat, can't you feel it? Well, a wasp's life well lived in front of us. The Volvo 940 is a family car for your family you no longer have. Your kids are grown, and now the Volvo awaits the arrival of grandchildren that are not coming anytime soon. And look, it's fine. Relax. Enjoy the empty nest. You still have a few good years of reliable intercourse left before the heart pills take it all away. And you don't have to worry about someone walking in. Your son, who just moved out at the age of 45, probably feels the same relief. But I suppose it's hard to ignore the Volvo 940, just sitting there as a constant reminder of the ways in which the reassuring responsibilities of parenthood have fallen away, and with them, the certainty of the identity they provided. You've succeeded as parents. You have fulfilled your duty and released your wild-sown oats into the world. But what now? Well, you keep the Volvo wagon as you wait for your kids to start tending to your needs. A phone call. A Sunday dinner. A good job, I know you did your best for me. Hospice care. It's not enough to just see your kids succeeding in the world as adults. They need to come home and make the house less empty. To sit in the Volvo, to go to Boscov's, to look at caramel chocolates but not get any. To try on pants, even though you don't need them. To donate 50 cents to the Lions Club, even though you don't know what the Lions Club does. To just sit in the back seat of the Volvo, eyes higher in the rearview mirror than they sat a few years before, and allow your parents the chance to imagine you depend on them again. Yes, Mom, I know that if you buy a gift at Boscov's, they'll wrap it for you for free. Yes, Dad, I know they don't wipe down the demo massage chair. Yes, Dad, I know that kids look at their phone too much. Yes, Dad, I know kids don't know who Ed Rendell was. But I'll tell you one thing, they know who Bud Dwyer was. This is what a Volvo 940 is. A beacon to the world to remind you to call your mom. We go our whole lives waiting for someone to listen to us. As kids, we want our wants to be heard. As adults, we want our opinions to be respected. As seniors, we want our lessons to be valued. Hear us, respect us, value us, even as we change and grow and shift and recede. But like a person, a car often goes through so many changes that it can be hard to know if the thing you value now is the thing you started out respecting in the first place. The Volvo 940 is not a bad Volvo. It's not a bad car. But what kind of value does this actually hold on to? What are you giving up to hold on to something whose time has passed? The wagon has passed. The boxy station wagon is the thing that all automotive enthusiasts say they want, but very few buy. How is value determined? Is it an aspirational measurement or something more concrete? If I had to guess, I'd say the value is determined by need, and the Volvo 940 may have been heard. It may have been respected. It may have even been valued for a time, but ultimately it was brought into a world that didn't need it. Remember, this is the 90s, and the minivan was king. And while you could say that about a lot of cars, that they were overshadowed by something more affordable and larger, the Volvo 940 was redundant in a way you couldn't sensationalize into relevancy. And yet, this car has its fans. It has its loyalists. Because to them, value is measured in other ways. Ways that are just as valid, but ways that aren't enough to elevate the Volvo 940 to a higher pedestal than the Volvo 240.